So apparently your mum said that you better work for yourself because you don't like people telling you what to do.
Yeah, that's correct. From a very young age, I think I remember I was in, I think it was junior school, and I've never liked it. I've never liked the fact that somebody can say to me, jump, and I have to say how high.
Right.
So yeah, right from the start, my mum's like, you're gonna have to go into business for yourself because you are never gonna respond well to having a boss. And she was absolutely correct. I have never liked it.
Fabulous. But you've obviously gone on an entrepreneurial journey, but it didn't start out as that, although you knew you probably would end up there. You have, as you said, you've had some jobs. Tell us a bit about your sort of background more recently before the entrepreneurial stuff.
Yeah, so when this opportunity came along, I was actually working as an estate agent,
Okay.
and I love the people side of it and meeting people and typical, female, should I say, love going around people's houses and getting shown round and seeing how other people live and ideas and things. Absolutely loved that side of it. But it was very target orientated.
Okay.
And there was a lot of pushing perhaps of people to use the company's solicitors and the company's mortgage advisors. And then I will say we never lied. I never lied to people, but I would say that sometimes we were economical with the truth,
Right.
which never sat well with me.
Yeah.
And there were times when I would go home at night after completing my day and I wouldn't be able to sleep because I knew that things were happening. And, buying a home is one of the most stressful things that people can do.
Uh-huh.
And if I'm privy to information to know that actually the chain or something that they're in is going to fall apart and they don't know it, it
Yeah.
didn't sit well with me. So I was really unhappy in that job, and it was affecting me outside of my work. It was affecting my sleep and my
Right.
free time. I just wasn't feeling comfortable in myself.
Okay. So you decided to quit.
I did. The utility warehouse opportunity came along, and I was that unhappy that when I got presented with the opportunity, that I actually handed in my notice the next day.
Okay.
I
Wow.
just thought it was such an amazing opportunity, and I knew that this is for me. This is what I'd been searching for. I
Right.
could be my own boss, and I'd never really known before in my life what I wanted to do. So although my mum said to me, you need to be in business for yourself and you need to be your own boss, I really didn't know what I wanted that to be in.
Okay.
So when this opportunity came along, I grabbed it with both hands and ran with it. I did initially get a job at a pub local to me because
Okay.
I thought that will be stress free. I can go in, do my hours if they're 12 till 6, do the hours and not think about it, and that I can grow my utility warehouse business alongside working at the pub.
Yeah. Okay, so you did that initially. Obviously, that gave you some regular income, and then you could relax and build your UW business as you wanted to without being forced to do it for the money. I've experienced this with somebody else I know in the business who it was early on for them, and they were dependent on the money, and they said it wasn't as much fun when they were dependent on the money, but when they took a part-time job like you did, it gave them that freedom to go, okay, I'm doing this now because I'm building something for the future and I'm enjoying it rather than having to put food on the table.
Yeah, to start with, that was absolutely my intention, and I did that for about 3 months.
Right.
I'd been very clear to the pub that I was employed at that I was starting my own business and I was trying to grow the business alongside work in the pub. And at the first, they were very amenable and they allowed me to either pick my hours or they would give me hours and I would grow my business around those times.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately, things changed and they kept trying to change my shifts all the time. You
Right.
know, oh, you're meant we need you to come in tonight. Well, I'm sorry, I can't come in tonight. You know, I've got an appointment for my other business. And
Mm.
they were like, no, you need to come in tonight. And I'd been there 3 months, and in that 3 month period, I had actually made more money in my utility warehouse business
Right.
part-time than the hours that I was working at the pub. So for me, it became, you know, I wasn't enjoying it anymore. It was
Yeah.
becoming stressful. It was starting to encroach, you know, on my time and my plans. So yeah, it was just easy to just say, well, you know, I've quit one job for utility warehouse. Let's quit another one as well.
Fair enough. But what you also did was you had 3 months there to check it out, see what you could do. You proved to yourself in that 3 month period, actually, I can do this. If I'm consistent, I can do this. So then you were able to, with confidence, say, actually, I can do this regardless of whether it's my only source of income or a second income.
Yeah, absolutely. That was it. You know, just having that certainty that it had worked. I didn't really know anybody else, you know, in the business. I do now know lots of
Yeah.
people, but to start with, I was certainly the only one that was really in my area and that was being active.
Okay.
So it was nice to just sort of give myself that chance to settle in and see how well it was received. And I became a customer myself straight away, but it was really good to give other people, even strangers, the chance to see how it worked and that it benefited them as well.
Okay. Fabulous. So you've obviously continued to build your business, and now I know you get to do some exciting things as well outside of UW. Are you okay to tell us about your adventure that you had in the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, it was very random. So before many years ago, before the estate agency, I actually worked in a casino as a croupier, and I did that for numerous years. And probably within the last 5 years or so, I've started doing fun casinos, which are events at weddings or parties or work anniversaries, where we get hired. I have a very easy job. I just show up. There's no money involved, no stress. We just do literally play for fun.
Right.
And I get paid for doing that. And it led to me getting a message from a lady that I've not worked with before, asking me if I would like to come out and be part of a team in India.
Okay.
For India's richest man, his son was having a pre-wedding celebration.
Oh, as you do. Yeah, of course. Yeah, we
Of
have a
course,
wedding celebration, but they have a pre-wedding celebration.
pre-wedding, 3 day pre-wedding celebration attended by Rihanna. Well, not attended, Rihanna was performing, and
Right.
David Blaine and Acorn and all sorts of celebrities and things were there, which unfortunately I didn't get to see any of them, but I
Right.
was close by.
Well, you were on the same level, obviously. They were there doing their star bit over there, and you were doing your star bit over here.
Yeah, exactly that. If people had known, they would have all come over. But it was the flexibility. For me, it was very last minute. I actually got approached on the Wednesday, confirmed on the Saturday, and flew the Monday evening.
Okay. Wow.
So, and that was just, there's so many things that I'm so grateful for being my own boss and having that freedom and that flexibility to do that. I just had to shuffle a couple of things around, you know. Surprisingly, when I called up my potential customers and said, I'm sorry, can I move this forward a week? I'm going to India. They were like, yeah, that's sort of a good reason.
Excellent. So, other than having the flexibility to be able to do exciting sort of projects like that, what else has the business brought for you? How have you benefited from UW?
I would say, surprisingly, the personal development side of it has been huge. In a previous role I was in, I had to do some personal development. I was sent on like a training day, and I just thought, what a lot of rubbish. It was a day out of work. They put me up in a nice hotel and we got to go and have some drinks in the evening. But the guy that was was talking, and trying to teach us things, I just was not ready to receive the message.
Right.
And when I started with Utility Warehouse, I realized that, especially at the beginning, I was taking things quite personally. So I didn't understand, if I'm trying to help people and I'm helping them save money or giving them the opportunity to make money, I thought it was personal to me if they weren't taking me up on my offer. And it used to knock me quite hard. And, if things, I'd go into a bit of a funk and I wouldn't do stuff. I'm like, I don't want to do anything today, and put my head down and into the duvet and everything. But there's something that they bang on a lot about in Utility Warehouse, is the personal development side of it. And I thought, well, if so many different people are talking about it, there has to be something to it. So I've sort of thrown myself into it wholeheartedly. And everything is about timing. And, this time I was ready to receive the message that personal development offers. And it's been a game changer with how I approach my business, but also my life. And my relationships and things has really changed. My mum, who is the one that sort of kickstarted it all, she's done a massive change with me, and just how much calmer and well, and how I choose to reflect more on things rather than being quite impulsive and reacting in the moment. Now I can step away. I take the time to analyze things, try to see it from other people's point of view, and then sort of get back into it. So it's been a massive, like a game changer for my life and my business.
Oh, wow. That's a really cool story, because people think they're joining Utility Warehouse for having their own business or the income or whatever it might be. But actually, to know that one of the biggest benefits you've got is something that you didn't expect from the business, and how that's touched your life. And obviously it's having a ripple effect on other people in your life, because if they're seeing you acting differently, it makes them think about how they're behaving and how they're acting, and it has a knock-on effect, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It really does. People that I would used to have, a bit of a back and forth with, and loggerheads now, also respond differently, because I'm not, we're not going not physically blow for blow, but, they see that I step back. It makes them actually stop and step back as well. So it just creates a very different dynamic. And it, like you say, just totally unexpected. I came into this for business. I came into it for money, and I've got so much more out of it, which has been surprising, but wonderful.
So what would you say to somebody who is thinking about becoming a partner with UW? What would your advice be?
Don't think about it. I host team meetings regularly for people that have joined me on my journey with Utility Warehouse. And my motto to them that we say every team meeting is, what's the worst that can happen? And I often show the Dr. Pepper advert. I don't know if that's showing my age a little bit more, but the Dr. Pepper advert is like, they take the most craziest scenario and just actually literally run it out to the worst thing that can happen. And I just think, well, the worst thing that can happen is people say no.
Yeah. And like you say, you learn through the personal development how that doesn't matter. It's just an outcome. And you've learned that over the last period that you've been involved.
Yeah, definitely. I like to say the emotion has come out of the business side of it. It's still there with the team, which is lovely, because it needs to be. These are people, and you have built relationships, and wonderful relationships with the team and other people within Utility Warehouse. But with the potential customers, it's okay. They can say no. I can save them thousands of pounds a month, and they can tell me no. And I said, it's been a pleasure meeting you. If you change your mind, you know where I am.
That's awesome. Well, what I would say is, whoever asked the people watching this, so if you're sitting there watching this and either I did or Emma did or somebody else asked you to watch this recording, get back to whoever that person was. Let them know that you've seen the recording and I just need to not think about it. I just need to give it a go.
Yeah. What's the worst that can happen?
Remember that Dr. Pepper song when you're deciding whether to reach out to them? Dr. Pepper, what's the worst that can happen? Fabulous, Emma. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it.